After discussing the architect's responsibility, let's look at her place in the organization chart. This is not a theoretical discussion. The location of the architect in the chart dictates her responsibilities and the scope of her work. Before taking a look at typical organization charts, I want to emphasize a point. Architect is not and should not be a managerial position. She does not hire and fire, she does not manage vacation requests, and definitely not conducting performance reviews or compensation negotiations. The reason for that is that the architect is a professional role and has a lot to deal with. It's not a good idea to mix all her responsibilities with management tasks. So with that in mind, let's look at two typical organization charts involve the architect. The first chart demonstrates an organization chart with a dedicated architect for each project. As you can see, the architect reports to the project manager and she herself has no subordinates. This is a typical, though very simplified chart when the architects are junior ones. In this scenario, the architects see the bigger picture but only of the project. They are not involved with other projects in the organization and their contribution is quite limited. But keep in mind that even in this case, they have a tremendous contribution to the project. Their guidance is invaluable and they do a really important job. The second chart demonstrates a different scenario. In this scenario, the architect reports directly to the CIO. This is usually the case with senior experienced architects, which have proven themselves valuable to the organization and which has a tremendous added value at the organization level and not just the project level. Remember, we have talked about enterprise architects? A software architect in this position usually deals with some aspects of enterprise architecture too, mainly on the technical side and less on the organizational side. It is quite common to see both the charts combine, meaning the CIO works with the senior architect and every project has its own architect. In this case, the senior architect will make an organization-wide decision such as global architecture patterns, platforms to be used in the organization and so on, and the project's architect will harness this guidance to the specific project they are working on. The senior architect will often provide an ongoing support to the project's architects and will make sure they adhere to the organizational guidance.